have it up in
Hello,
front of me.
it's Luke Smith, realvacantland.com. Thank you guys for signing in. We're doing this live feed today with Eric Myers. I've got Eric Myers piped in the background, so we got audio on Eric. And Eric, you can say hi maybe, see if it's audio still working.
Hi, Luke. Hello,
Cool.
all.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. So, my dream, my wish is to or keep all these plates spinning of all these different pieces of information at the same time and put on this show of us hunting for real estate. I enjoy real estate deals. I like making deals. I like creating them, finding them, making them happen, all different kinds. Today, it's all about QSRs, quick service restaurants. And I like quick service restaurants because the statistics on these things is really fun. The statistics let us go compare to go figure out who goes here. So we're looking for vacant restaurants, like drive-through style restaurants that we can go try to find new tenants for. And I got I got this machine in my background of the photo here. This is one of the mail machines. I got 3 of these mail machines, and I do them to send out. I got them originally to send out mail to buy vacant land, but I've started figuring out over time that we can send out mail to find tenants for these buildings. If we do the data right, we can find tenants and we can offer them the building. We can fix up the building, make it happen, and deliver the building to them. And we can keep the spread. And it's a lot more money than buying a vacant piece of property in the middle of nowhere and giving it to somebody who wants to move in their RV and giving it to them for the cheapest price and out there. Still make money off of those, but this I think could be a lot more money and a lot more fun, and I think it works better in today's market. Markets are always changing, and I think today's market's calling for this. We got like 150 different properties in the queue, and so we're going to see how many of them we can go through today. These are live deals. Most of them have never looked at before, and we'll figure them out. We got the comments going, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you can chime in the comments. Harold Davis says, land in Arkansas, Springdale. There we go. That's not the topic for today, Harold, but if we got land in Springdale, Arkansas, it might be on realvacantland.com. We've got different partners that have properties in lots of different parts of the U.S. that they're posting them on there. I'm all sold out of those properties. COVID it ripped through like the hurricanes coming to town and cleaned everything off the shelves. It's all gone. And I've tried to get more, but I think this market, these restaurants are more opportune. I'm a contrarian. I like to go where other people aren't going, and that's what we're going to talk about. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We're going to jump into this. I've got the first deal Eric was just asking me about. We've got it in the databases. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here in a minute. It's a Taco Bell or former Taco Bell in Talladega, Alabama. So we're going to pull this thing up. And Eric, do you have any, what's going on with this one? Did you talk to him? Did you?
I did talk to him, Luke. I find this one interesting. So what we've got here is we've got a former Taco Bell. This one went vacant 2.5 years. The operator of this ended up buying a piece of land just down the street from this and building a brand new Taco Bell. He's operating right there. If you look at the offering memorandum or the flyer of this, it's got a pretty good map here that shows, all the other businesses in town. What caught my eye about this one is that although there's a number of restaurants here, there's still a number of them that aren't here. And I thought it might be worth a look. I think that this isn't the primary main street through town, but it is a cross street of that. And there are other QSRs on the street. For instance, there's a KFC right across the street. There is the Taco Bell on the same street. And just across that street is the McDonald's.
Okay, I got that one pulled up in the background. Maybe if you're watching the live stream, I'm delayed a little bit, but I see the subject property on this map.
There you go.
We got Walmart. This is kind of an out parcel to Walmart. The new Taco Bell is kind of the other side of the Walmart. So I'd like to see how much business this Walmart's doing. We've got other properties that are Walmart out parcels that are, they can they can do some really top digit numbers on being a QSR and a Walmart out parcel, especially as Walmart gets more and more traffic. If the Walmart's like 50,000 customers, it's not. But if it's like 150,000 or 200,000 customers, yeah, it can really do really well. We got KFC across the street. Yes, I see that McDonald's. I see what you're saying about the streets, like 11,000 cars per day on probably the main street that the new Taco Bell is at the intersection of. And then this one, I think it's 4,000 or 5,000 cars a day. There's a Popeyes over there, so let's look up that one. There's a Zaxby's, there's a Sonic, there's a Little Caesars, a Captain D's, and Buddy's Barbecue, right? So,
Yeah.
was there a price on this one? Did you see a price they're asking, or maybe I missed
They're
it?
looking, it's 750, 775 is what they're looking for on
Okay,
this.
700s. Do you know what the age of this one is?
I'm thinking that the building was roughly 20 years. Let me get back in there and I can give
Okay,
you the answer on this.
it says average household income like 48, 49, 53, and going in a radius. I was looking at population. I think the whole town is like 25,000 people. It's kind of a smaller town. We've done deals in smaller towns, but it's not the smallest town, but not big town either.
This is a town that has I know it's only a once a year thing, but this is a town that has a NASCAR track in it, a very popular.
Oh, that's
track.
why I know Talladega. Okay.
Right.
I was thinking
It's known as one of the
Talladega.
long tracks where, like,
Okay.
they're doing 200 miles an hour on this track. This was built in 1993, Luke. So
Okay,
we're
93 era.
30 years.
Okay, so I'm looking at Crexy. I got Crexy up in the background. We got 5 mile people. It's 23,000 within 5 miles and 33,000 household median income from Crexy numbers. It's just pretty low. That's like
Agreed.
welfare check low. 32,000 in the 3 miles and 48,000 in the 1 mile. So it goes up a little bit right around. Maybe we're in the better part of town, but it's still a lower income area. Maybe that's higher income in Alabama, but it's lower for here. 1 mile, it's the population down 18% since 2017. That's not very good.
And you mentioned that the income actually went down when you went from 1 mile to 3 mile?
Yeah, it goes down. Like
Wow,
that's
a lot.
so.
Not used to
It's
seeing
usually
that.
backwards when we're looking at the vacant ones, right? The vacant ones are usually in the hard part of town where it's the lowest income and like no wonder it's vacant. But this one's backwards. It's 48,000 in the 1 mile, but the population's been going down. And then in the 3 mile, it's 32,000. That's a big change. And the population's kind of flattish over the last 5 years. And then 5 mile, the population's kind of flat-ish over the last 5 years, 33,000. So it's smaller town, smaller income, older building. This should be lower price point kind of thing, right? They're asking in the 700s. So let's take a look at, let's see what kind of business I'm going to put it into placer data and start messing around with neighbors and stuff. Just got the Tractor Supply store in the background. There's a lot of names up and down this street. So we're kind of,
There is.
so I'm going to start with that McDonald's. I mean, the McDonald's has more traffic, but they're doing 11,400, so they're not down and out. The new Taco Bell is 2,400. That's not, or that's the old Taco Bell. That's the old Taco Bell. They're still getting numbers on the old Taco Bell. The new Taco Bell is not dialed in yet.
Where did that McDonald's rank?
11,000. That's going to be in the 30-ish percentile. Let's take a look. I'm guessing I'm going from gut, but not data. Should go from data, right? Let's see what it says. 22%. I was a little off, but yeah, 22% McDonald's.
That's on Main Street right there.
Yeah, that's the front and center. There's a Popeyes across the street from it, 2,800. So this area is not shooting the lights out.
No.
17% Popeyes.
Well,
See if Sonic's doing it. Who's Sonic is 22. That's a pretty piddly Sonic. Let me see who's stacked. Yeah, McDonald's is the king of the pile here, looking at the broader picture of traffic. Walmart's got 110,000. Walmart is, it's kind of a, I've seen worse Walmarts, but it's not. Let's see what this Walmart's doing. #16 percentile Walmart. I mean, the traffic's just not here. The customers are just not here. There's a lot of names for the amount of business that's going on here. So I think this is going to be a lower price point one.
Agreed.
Burger King's doing 8,400 customers. How'd they get that?
That's a lot for a Burger King.
Yeah. 890,
Anyway.
94 percentile Burger King.
Oh.
This is a Burger King town.
Yeah. Say so.
Right?
Big in Talladega.
Yeah, that's Zaxby's, Arby's, Huddle House, all the rest of them. It's just Burger King stands out something crazy here. The rest of them don't. Okay, so you talked to him about price. Did you get any more information, like the story or what's the deal? You said they moved, but
I did. The owner operator of this, he was here for years. He bought the land down there, so now he owns the land, and he built the newer concept, or at least a new building. I believe they were in escrow once on this, and for some reason it didn't close. That's really about it. The agent I spoke with, he mentioned that he believes, roughly 750-ish gets it done. And initially I thought that seemed a bit high. And now I think I feel even more that way with the fact that the traffic here is kind of suspect.
yeah.
And I don't see a lot of, seems like most of the other QSR operators in the area are all in the bottom 50%, maybe some of them in the bottom 25%.
Yeah.
But I thought being an outlying parcel of Walmart, and right on the other side of this, there's also a tractor supply company that it might be better than what you just showed us.
So there's CC&Rs. We got CC&Rs in the database on this one. You got down to the use part. Like Walmart
We
has,
talked about that
yeah.
briefly. I inquired about deed restrictions. He said he wasn't aware of any related to food, but there may be some related to Walmart if you were going to try to run retail out of this location, which of course we're not.
Yeah, so they're saying stuff that you can do, unless shown on Exhibit A. What Exhibit A? Competing businesses. No discount stores in excess of 5,000 square feet. I mean, this doesn't really apply if you keep the building the same way. Go after another restaurant. McDonald's doesn't like to have discount stores, dollar stores, and cafeterias and stuff like that. Low rent things, consignment stores, used stuff stores. Okay, so I think it's about price. I'm gonna call this guy and see how flexible they are in price. What do you think?
Sure, William. That's who I spoke with, Luke.
Okay, let me see if I can get this to work. As soon as I'm got everything dancing, my phone crashes. Here we go. See if he answers the phone. Can you hear that, Eric?
I can only hear you.
Okay. Can't hear it ringing?
I cannot. I just heard it ring.
Okay, maybe it's location.
Your call has been forwarded to the voicemail for William Carr. No one is available to take your call. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hello, William Carr. My name's Luke Smith, and I'm looking at your former Taco Bell in Talladega, Alabama, and just have a couple questions. I'm interested, studying it, trying to figure it out. Luke Smith, 760-274-7711. Hope to talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye. Well, maybe he'll call back. The industry has a lot of voicemail. Let me just save his information. Do you ever watch Talladega Nights, a movie? My wife loves that one. She's got a bunch of quotes from that. Yeah, right?
I mean, it's the first loser.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to put some notes in there. I think it's about price. Okay, we'll come back to this one. See if we can figure out a price that it works. Okay, so you had another one, Eric, that you wanted to. What's another one?
I was curious about the one we talked about that was the vacant McDonald's with the Verizon next to it.
Okay, let me find that one. Osage Beach, Missouri.
That sounds right. What was the name? What was the name of that town?
Osage Beach.
I believe so. Hang on 1 second. Let me see.
I'm not sure that's the same one. That's a different one. That's just a vacant McDonald's.
Oh.
Why don't you look for that one? I'll pull up the next one on the.
Okay, go ahead, Luke. I'm
Thank you.
searching for it.
So I've got I'm just speaking my thoughts here. I've got my databases set up to sort properties by. Let's take a call. I'm going to get sidetracked. Luke Smith. Hello, David. David, can you hear me? David, you there? I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Okay, that was one of the brokers I had called about a White Castle. I was calling back. We'll try him back later.
I'm still looking for this McDonald's. Look, it's hiding.
Here he is. See if I can get him. See if I can pull up the White Castle while I'm talking to him.
Go ahead.
Hello, David?
Hey, Luke, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, got you this time. I'm here with a couple of friends on a recorded line, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I was calling you about that White Castle. I want to see if I could pull that one up while I'm talking to you. But can you tell me about that White Castle?
It's just obviously a former White Castle that was obviously operating at that location and ended up going dark on it about a year ago with some lease term left over. So they ended up purchasing it from the original owner when that went dark, and they've just kind of been sitting on it for a little bit, whether to, resell it or release it.
Okay.
Kind of, so.
So I think I pulled that back up. So you're asking $900 for it, and you're trying to lease it at the same time, or it's more for sale? David?
He said, an end user, they'd be open to it.
Kind of broke up on me again. You said if it's an end user, they'd be open to it, or sell it, or lease
Yeah,
it?
they would be open to it. Yeah, they're open either way. So,
Okay.
I mean, their goal is to, try to sell it.
Okay. So it's still available. They're asking $900. It's on a nice street corner. It's got like Walmart in the background, and did the income just go up too much for White Castle to make it there, or they moved to a new location?
I just think, as you can see, kind of across the market, a lot of White Castles have been closing out their locations. So I just think it's, not a performing brand that's doing too well, or, what it kind of was. So I don't have too much insight from that standpoint.
Okay.
Of reason why.
What have you guys been doing to find a new tenant? Have you been, you put up a sign and put up listings, and you going like door to door, or you got people in mind you're chasing down, or how hard have you tried?
We chased the, we talked to a little bit as well. We talked to Duncan. All of them kind of entered the market at a different location because they rather own the building versus, lease it.
Okay.
And, we're willing to pay, the value of what we had. So it just kind of found other opportunities in the market. So all of them are going in the market, but just didn't end up penciling out at our location.
So this one isn't that old. 2008. It's probably lipstick, right? To like get a new tenant in here, you just find the right name.
Yeah, it's all lipstick. Yeah, it's all basically lipstick. There was obviously, White Castle had, maybe some deferred maintenance of taking care of the exterior. So
Yeah.
it's, mostly just kind of updating facade and, maybe updating some of the interiors to be, a little bit more modern to what, people are seeing in this day.
Yeah.
So
Have you turned offers down on it? Different people swinging at it, or is it pretty? Is there just not enough population there, or what are people's hesitations?
we do have an offer right now that they're considering taking. It's kind of an all cash 14-day close. Obviously a little less than they wanted, but in terms of the quick close and kind of closing before year end, it kind of made some sense to them.
Yeah, well, it's always nice when you got one of those in your pocket, right?
Yeah. So obviously your return's not as ideal as they want, but obviously you get it done and off your balance sheet.
Yeah. Okay. I'll look at it some more. Scratch my head. I'm gonna go look at it closer. Are there any like deed restrictions of Walmart stuff, or somebody used to own it or something that
Yeah,
left something
no
on there?
deed restrictions from Walmart, so we're all kind of good there. And you know, the Walmart in terms of, I don't know if you're familiar with Placer AI. We kind of ran the Placer AI data that basically tracks cell phone traffic to the location, and I mean they have over 1 million visitors a year there.
At that Walmart?
So I mean, yeah, decent foot traffic. I don't think it's obviously the highest, you know, sales performing Walmart, but in terms of at least, you know, foot traffic to the location, there is people coming, and it's probably on a little more long range pool too, just because it's really kind of the only main grocery out in that market. So, you know, you're seeing people coming, you know, a lot farther away from, you know, more than that 5 mile radius that they normally see.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up that Walmart Placer right now. I see like 153 a month, and I've got land on a Walmart out parcels or other properties, Walmart out parcels of that kind of traffic, and like one of them's a Wendy's that's 96 percentile on Placer AI on that exact same kind of Walmart traffic, like total Walmart parking lot correlated traffic. This Wendy's is killing it in a location like that I know really well. Same with the Zaxby's that I'm very, very familiar with on that same kind of number. Like I think mine might be 157 or something. This is 153. I like looking at statistics. Yeah. So building off of the back of that Walmart traffic. No, that's good.
Yep, for sure. So,
okay.
I mean, it is the only thing that, you know, I'm a very kind of transparent person just because I also invest as well in real estate and understand that obviously I don't get paid unless I sell it. But, you know, some of the times you just kind of look at a little map. It just, you know, I think some of the QSRs maybe, you know, kind of balk at it a little bit just because it's, you know, one block too far maybe from, you know, central Newcastle. But, I mean, like you said, you're pulling off the long-range draw of Walmart being your anchor.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Good deal. Thank you. Thanks for getting back to me. Thanks for calling back.
Yep, you're welcome.
I'm going to go study it some more.
So, yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Talk to you later.
All right, we'll see you.
Yep. Bye. Okay. See, I asked if it was okay on the recorded line, and he said it was okay. Talking to the attorneys in most states, I should get, you know, permission from both parties. If you're still there, Eric.
I am.
Okay. So that was fun. The Steak and Shake, like the other corner off of there, is let's see, 28 percentile Steak and Shake. They're not doing so well, but I mean, just that Walmart draw can do pretty good business, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. If you get the right shop in there, I mean, I think it could do pretty good business off the front of that Walmart. But it's $900,000 for like not a whole lot of stuff around this thing, but it's a relatively newish building. You know, like we'd have to get some numbers. What kind of rent would we have to charge on that? That'd be like, it sounds like a lipstick one. Might be cheaper than the $500,000 one you got to put $400,000 of fix up into. So like, if I did 900,000 times, let's say a 7.5 cap, just because I don't know any better, it'd be like $67,000 or $68,000 a year rent to break even. And if I could get like, you know, 80 or 90 grand out of it, start making some money, that could be fun. I think I'd like to make an offer on that one. Eric, you're not the partner I've got working on this one. So maybe it's not coming up in your set, but I'll work on this some more after the call.
Okay, now I found, Luke, I couldn't find the information on that McDonald's, but I did find another one that may be worth a look here.
Okay. So let me get back to, is there a specific one, or what do I look up to find yours?
It's in Huntsville, former Arby's, Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
It'll come up under Madison County, Alabama.
Okay, I've got this one pulled up. Let me see if I can pull this one up on the screen.
It's definitely an older location. She's definitely on the beaten end. But the demographic information on this is surprisingly good. The traffic count is extremely high, but I think that is because this is kind of a highway situation next to a freeway situation. So, I mean, that's to be considered, right? At the same time, the income information and the house value information in this area goes up a lot from 1, 3 to 5. The income, I won't say that it doubles, but it increases by 60 or 70%, and the price of housing, it does nearly double from 1 mile to 5 mile here. It looks like they tried to put a drive-through on this, or maybe they even did, and it functioned at one time. One of the other things I've liked about this one is the square footage it's in my opinion, kind of on the smaller side. It's under 2,000, which might make it a great place for pizza or something like that.
Okay.
Looks like the lot probably needs some work, some resurfacing, and the building certainly needs some work. But if this other demographic information checks out, perhaps the traffic is here. There's a new concept Pizza Hut just up the road from this. And then you've got Wendy's and McDonald's and that kind of stuff a little further up the road. But pay attention to the fact that it looks like this is kind of where a freeway is merging with the highway or frontage road, but I believe that happens past this location. So they're not all necessarily going to be able to turn off right into this problem.
Do you see who's got it up for sale?
Yes, it's
We've talked to him before.
I've talked to him. It's Jordan Gorgian.
Yeah.
If I pronounce it, we talked briefly about it. He emailed me some information on it. They're asking $565 for this right now, and Crexy has it on the market for 101 days.
Every time we get one of his listings, he just bought it. Like he just bought it and he's flipping it, and he's trying to rent it, flip it.
He's also involved. He buys and flips himself quite often. Actually, he's got a nice portfolio.
Yeah, we keep running into him. I keep seeing his properties.
Yeah, he's smart. He's a good guy. I like talking to him.
Yeah. So this McDonald's, am I doing this right? Like we got Arby's. Here's our Arby's. And this McDonald's is killing it.
Tell me where the Arby's is again on your map, Luke. I'm looking at what.
So Arby's
Okay.
is. See if I can get. Yeah. Okay.
I see it.
I'm trying to figure out which screen to look at. There's Arby's.
Sure.
Here's McDonald's. So there's a exit off the freeway or whatever this road is here that goes to this McDonald's. This McDonald's is 36,000 customers a month. This is like Chick-fil-A kinds of numbers at a McDonald's.
That's a
So
lot.
let's see what they're doing here.
I think there's a Wendy's up there too. I saw on the.
97 percentile McDonald's,
Ooh,
right?
boy, that's high.
That's pretty cool. So the Pizza Hut went in. She says this is a new age Pizza Hut.
It is.
1,100 customers a month on that. That's like, sounds like pizza numbers. I don't know how to rank the pizza numbers because they're usually pretty low. Let's see what the rankings are.
And is it true? I think on the
42.
pizza numbers, I don't think it considers people that are there for 15 minutes or less, right?
It's 7 minutes. This is the last time I checked the placer. The placer data is 7 minutes. So if you're just like picking up the pizza and running out the door, you don't count. If you're going through the drive-through at like the speed of light, you don't count.
Right.
So like this McDonald's, maybe they just have a really crappy drive-through and everybody gets stuck in line and it counts them more. But I generally, there's a lot of problems with placer data, and a lot of people point them out. But at the same time, it's that same problem is across the whole board of all the other ones. Like the same style of counting people is across the board. It's not like this location they did it this way and that location they did it that way, so the data is invalid. It's just, it's not perfect, but it gives you a level of business that is hard to do otherwise.
Sure. And pizza, unlike a lot of these others, most of their product is delivered, probably. Delivered or picked up, for sure.
Yeah. So let's do, I think that building is kind of ugly. I bet you it's more than lipstick. It's going to need some work. But that pizza or that McDonald's number is just amazing. So how does this road work? Is this road is like, this looks like a freeway. Or is this a side road on a freeway with a road next to it? I'm going to zoom in some more.
I believe so.
Yeah, because there's a lot of lanes there. Okay, so let's see. I mean, the Pizza Hut looks like the classic Pizza Hut, but they painted the red. Someone's saying that audio video might not be working. It's not
I
synced.
can see. It just doesn't seem like it's synced, Luke. I can hear you fine, but it's kind of like watching a Godzilla movie, It doesn't-
I'll have to figure out the settings. I don't know how to change it while I'm going live.
It's okay, I can hear you fine. But yeah, this right here, I think their traffic count is coming from that freeway.
Yeah, so it's there's you got the highway next to the freeway. There's like some on ramps on off. This is all one way traffic, so it's gonna be good luck getting back here if you're going past. I mean, I don't know how you get back here if you see it and go by.
A bunch of red turns.
Yeah, you gotta know where you're going.
Yes.
I don't know. Can I just say I think we got others that are like easier to work on?
Let's see what else we got here.
And there's more vacant stuff over here. Well, that's not vacant. It looked like it when I was just back a hair. Now it doesn't look vacant. When I was in this view, it sure did. No, maybe I'm just seeing things. So why is this McDonald's doing so well? I mean, they're on the corner. Maybe it's easier to access it. They got both sides of this corner. I don't know. McDonald's is killing it. They're on the corner. Seems like this other corner would be a nice piece of land to go promote with the McDonald's killing it across the street. But I don't think they really correlate like that. I couldn't imagine trying to get to that stupid Arby's from there. Like, you got to really know where you're going to get in and out of there. It's just, I want to skip this one.
Okay. Here, I'll also move it to rejected.
Okay. Okay, let's see if we can pull up the next one. So I've got the QSR score rankings kind of thing of new ones in the hopper that score high with stuff around it going off. So I'm going to pull up some of those. I got one here that is a Hardee's in Brunswick. Georgia. Glenn County, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw my video this morning about a Popeyes in this neck of the woods. A broker just called back and he said he watched the video from this morning on that one. And he said he'd never seen an offer presented in a video format like that. He liked it. So I hear that a lot.
Yeah,
A lot of people
sure.
say they don't ever see that.
Luke, this one is part of a portfolio of 3. And
Okay.
They look like they're operating. This looks like a brand new, or I don't know about brand new, but it's certainly newer.
Cade Norland, okay. I've talked to him numerous times. Yeah, these all look like operations. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
These are fully cooked prices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to call this one fully cooked. I'm going to hit the next one. We want one that's got room to fix up and sell, not one that's already priced in. Yeah, okay, so Greenwich, Connecticut, Sedgwick County, Kansas. Why does it say Greenwich, Connecticut? Oh, the street? I don't know.
Wichita or Greenwich Port. Is this the one you're looking at, Luke? It's a Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Yeah, this one looks fully cooked as well.
Oh yeah, they're asking almost $3 million for this.
Yeah, let's drop that one off. I'm sure there's ways to make money off of these things. It's just out of my wheelhouse.
Sure.
Don't have a low enough cost of capital to sit on it and collect for forever. Cumberland County, Tennessee, McAllister's Deli. McAllister's has been growing really fast. I haven't seen them shedding locations. This is probably another fully cooked one. I was meaning to like throw these in the comments. I'll throw a link in the comments. So I'll try to keep links going as we're going so you guys can track. Yeah, 2.6 million, $150,000 a year rent, 20-year lease term, fully cooked, polished. We want to make something like this. This is an inspiration of what we want to make. Turn the old ugly building into one of those. Okay, next up, Aberdeen Wings in Brown County, South Dakota. Throw a link to this one into the chat so you can follow along. Oh, that's
This
another
looks like it's
Buffalo.
operational, too.
Yeah, okay, so this one's fully
30
cooked.
million. So that's interesting. You notice this is called Buffalo. I'm surprised, with Buffalo Wild Wings, and you've got Buffalo Wings and
Buffalo Wings and Rings.
yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Really just former employers.
Right? Yeah, maybe they.
Do it my way. Let's see here.
See what the next one is. Kent County, Michigan, Grand Rapids, 53 Commerce Avenue. I don't know what the brand is. Okay, so pulling this one up, this looks like a mom and pop. I'm gonna skip this thing. $1.3 million for this non-branded looking building. I mean, I'm sure somebody can make out awesome here. It's just not me. I want to do it because of statistics, and it's hard to do statistics on this kind of building. I just don't feel like I have a competitive advantage in this marketplace. Okay, so we got an A&W, Dane County, Wisconsin, Windsor A&W. This one's coming up next. Oh, I got the wrong screen. This is the screen I wanted. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep putting these in the comments, so if someone's watching later, they can click on it and see what the heck we're talking about. So A&W, this looks like a fancy A&W. It's got a newer look to it. 1.9 million. Let's see their cap rate, 15% NOI. Jesus, look at that. Look at the rent in this thing. $291,000 rent. How did they get that kind of rent out of this? That is a lot of rent for an A&W. Near $300,000. What am I missing? Is there
Huge building for an A&W too.
5,500 square feet? Yeah, what the heck? Recent extensive remodel. Number 25 rank in the nation store. Buyer may assume A&W franchise subject to qualification and acceptance or completely redevelop this site. For information on the franchise, go to A&W Franchising. So, am I missing something here?
Does it say how long?
The lease?
So they're still paying on this? This is dark, I guess? Not paid?
No, they just remodeled it, but you can take over the franchise and keep operating it. So I guess it must be owner operator. So the lease isn't really there. They're not talking about the lease, but they'll. Why is the NOI so high? If it's owner, why is there an NOI if it's owner operator? Maybe the NOI is the profits because there's no rent instead of like buying a triple net. Maybe that's what I'm missing.
I've never seen an A&W even half this size. This is so big. Wow, good income.
I think you got to operate the business. So is this guy on here? Dan Rosenleep. Let me throw this in Placer before I call him. He's talking about the things rocking in Placer. Just be fun to see a top A&W in there. But I think my understanding is you got to operate it to get that money. You got to buy it and operate it. Let's try him. So number no longer in service. 608-234-44. Let's look at the. It's the same phone number. He's got a cell phone number on here. Let's try that. Hi, Dan. This is Luke Smith. I'm on a recorded line with some of my friends listening in, if that's okay. I'd like to ask you about the A&W building I see for sale on Crexy.
Yes, sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you said in there it's like really awesome numbers in Placer.ai. I'm like, oh, that's fun. And I'm seeing the NOI on here, 291,000. I'm like, geez, that's a lot for an A&W. But maybe I'm missing it. Maybe it's not a lease. Maybe it's like an operation, like you got to operate it to get that money.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's owned by an entity that wants to sell it, and the numbers are what's left over after paying the manager. The manager's salary is included in the operating expenses. So that's what they have been taking out of it. And yeah, you can either keep the A&W operation in place, or you can redo the whole thing and do something else there. Okay.
But if it's doing really good numbers on it, you probably just want to keep it, right? Like you can't try to.
You know, they that's funny. They're doing a solid $1.4 million a year. And I think they could improve on that number. For instance, they currently do not serve a breakfast meal. And they only recently started advertising on the interstate highway, which they're on. So yeah. I think that they've operated since the 80s. And the area, are you calling from the Madison area? Are you out of state or out of town?
I'm out of state. I grew up in Michigan, and I'm in Southern California now, and I traveled around a good deal, but I'm not local. I'm just looking at it from afar and scratching my head. And thought I'd pick up the phone.
I just wanted to determine how much narrative to give you about the area. So sure. I don't know how familiar you are, but the Windsor DeForest area is a particularly vibrant part of the Madison MSA. The Madison is about 225,000, and the retail trade area is about 500,000 people, and it's very solidly stabilized by the fact that it is a state capital
for Wisconsin, and we have a Big Ten university. And as a result, I think of the university especially, there's a really good base of employment. We have the giant Epic software, the medical software people. There's really only two companies in America that your records are your medical records are probably either Epic or Cerner.
Right.
So they really have a big market share. And then we have Exact Sciences, Cologuard, mail-in people, and a lot of financial services. So it's been a very, very stable market. Our multifamily market has like a 3% vacancy rate. There's still people immigrating to Madison from elsewhere for employment and schooling. The school is like 41,000 students and another 15,000 staff. So those are all really good jobs. And what's really driving this dynamic is this, real estate has gotten expensive in Madison and people are seeking alternatives. This is the northeast quadrant of the metro area, and it has become really a gem. There's a regional mall, Easttown Mall, on that side of town, and then this is where the airport is located. And a lot of people, especially after COVID, they don't go into their home office anymore. They just go to the airport and leave for a week and come back home. So this is kind of in that orbit. There's a UPS and I think an Amazon and a UPS center being built nearby, like 600 new jobs. There's the kind of a version of Top Golf, if you're familiar with those. That's just up the way. So it's really going through a lot of good things. So it's really quite, this restaurant site is quite good for enhancing the present operations.
Okay.
The group of owners is about, I think it's about 10 people, but they've been doing this since the 80s, and they're just looking to retire. They just want to go to the beach and play golf or whatever they're going to do.
Right.
So it's a good motivation. We originally, at my recommendation, put on the market for $2.9 million. And then interest rates went up, so we've been kind of steadily decreasing, and they just recently reduced the price to $1,950,000. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty good deal in today's market.
So, I mean, I just got to ask, isn't it easier to sell if it's like on a lease? I mean, you got a manager that's managing it. Why doesn't he lease it and then you sell it on leased up? Like, does the manager have no credit, no backing, no aspirations? Nobody's doing the sales pitch to him to talk him into it. He doesn't have some guarantor to back him or sign off, or what am I missing?
Well, they have been actively involved in overseeing it, the committee of owners, and they just have been, it hasn't been a passive investment to them entirely, but they've always hired someone to do the day-to-day operations. They're just kind of the board that guides things. They haven't been really had too much day-to-day. I mean, you're right, it'd be clean to sell it like a single tenant, triple net lease deal, but the other option here is to not be an A&W restaurant anymore, and you could build a triplex retail with drive-through because they bought the additional lot.
Okay.
So there's plenty of real estate to do drive-through or anything there. But the other compelling reason to keep it as an A&W, they had, you could call it good fortune or bad fortune, but they were struck by lightning a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And the insurance settlement, rendered, it's virtually a new structure, like a new $500,000 kitchen, and the buildings, you won't find really any deferred maintenance on it. HVAC and roof is all newer and nice, so you could do either way with it, but if you keep A&W, there are some favorable terms as opposed to what would happen if you were starting anew with A&W.
Yeah.
So your royalties are a little less. So A&W is kind of anxious to see this. This was once I think it's still near the top 25 in the country, and A&W is one of the oldest franchisers in this category, and they'd sure like to see it stay. And there are operators that crank out a lot more money than this one does with these kind of traffic counts. So
yeah, but I mean, it's already dressed up and operating, and I'm looking up the hours. So while we're talking, you said no breakfast, and this is just like on Google, and it's saying 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And
right. Right.
You know, like, yeah, like it's missing. Like they didn't have enough people to fill up the day or enough traffic or something. Like, I mean, it's, and like if I look at,
Yeah, their drive-through business is tremendous there. I looked at the Placer stats, and a lot of people are obviously just stopping in off the interstate and then getting back on the road. And this is also just kind of for your edification for the area standpoint. This is on the route between the Chicago people going to the Wisconsin Dells, which is it's a year-round water park theme attraction that has like 60,000 people a day come there in the summer to visit and have fun.
yeah. So I'm looking at the traffic. The traffic, like the street traffic, starts at like 6 a.m. Starts pissing through there.
Yeah.
So like the whole 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. is missing. And then the traffic's thicker like 12 to 4. And then it's still doing pretty good at 6 and 8 at night. They close at 7. Yeah. So I don't know. What do other people ask about this building? What are they?
Well, we've got people interested in it who either have an A&W now, and then we have another guy who's got a nearby family restaurant who's thinking about a second location. So I've been talking to his banker, and he's considering it. You know, for him, he's got a labor pool he can kind of cross-pollinate. He can share with this location as a satellite or an anchor. And then the other guy has other A&W restaurants. He's interested, and he just would be adding another location, and he knows how to do it. He's got people he can probably transfer over if he can get them to move. And then checking a third. Oh, another party is considering it. He lives in northern part of Wisconsin, and he has a number of restaurants. I think more than a dozen, and they're his own theme. So he wouldn't keep the national flag. He would turn it into his own, brand of whatever it is. But he's got things in Wisconsin and then in the Midwest elsewhere. So it's kind of a mixture.
Huh. No, it's interesting. So
yeah, I can just tell you that there's nothing scary about the physical asset. It's really kind of like a new building. So
right, it looks like
that
it.
is a big, and that location. I mean, it's suitable for a number of things. And we were talking the other day. The guy in the motel says, "Yeah, I'd sell," and the guy with the service station next to, "Yeah, I'd sell." So that could be a real. I think the profile of the ownership in that little corner there is kind of mature, so that might kind of morph into a whole different corner someday, which is kind of going along with all the rooftops they're adding in the area there.
Yeah. I'm wondering what else I should be asking you. I want to talk to some of my friends about this one, and it's not what I was looking for, but it's interesting. Just looking at listings, you never know what you come across, right? It looks like
and I've sold things to people from just about every state because Madison is a good place. But I also operate out of Florida. I'm actually in Naples, Florida right now.
Okay.
And it's between the two markets, you can't miss.
Yeah.
It's just got a good base of people.
Yeah, no, that's good. Good. Just go back and forth. Did you get hit by that rainstorm last week? That was a fun one, right?
Yeah, but we really needed it. I didn't have to add water to the pool, so I'm loving it.
Yeah, I got stuck at the airport for a couple hours as I was going through, flying out of there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Florida here is the lightning capital of the world.
Yeah.
So we don't like storms.
No,
but
they take
you gotta have them. We haven't had a lot of rain in the last 2 months, but in the summer, this is an extraordinary summer. It was the hottest one I've ever been here for, and it's like I said, we really needed the rain, but we didn't get. There was no damage caused by it or anything. It was just a day and a half of rain, so that happened.
Yep. Okay. I'll spend some more time on this and study it. I'm looking at old Street View. You can see what the building looked like before they did the remodel. It's a total facelift. No, that's great.
Yeah. No, it's really, it shows very well. And, I always I think about pricing in several different themes, and one is like kind of the price per pound. And one thing that strikes me here is if you have $1.5 million gross, you know, my CPA says a lot of businesses sell for 1 times gross. Well, this isn't far away from that, and you get the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
It's really, in terms of value, I mean, it's just, I don't have anything else like this. I was telling a friend of mine, if I were 20 years younger, I'd probably buy it and find an operator, and this would be in our portfolio.
Right? It just seems like one that you just, polish it, put it away.
Yeah.
I mean, just the hours, I think, shine through like, hello, we don't have enough
Yeah,
people,
no,
we don't
no.
have enough whatever, just to run it full time.
Anybody, these guys are going to be the first to admit they're not MBAs. They didn't aspire to be in the hospitality business. And there's other operators that have 3 and 4, and they probably do $2.5 million. You know, so I see a lot of room for it. You know, there's 4 factors of production: labor, land, capital, and entrepreneur. The entrepreneur flag is prominent here. You need somebody with a little more creativity to squeeze more juice out of this orange.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm going to do some more studying. Thank you. Thanks for answering the phone. I miss that in our sector, like people that actually answer the phone.
I do this 24/7. You know, I try to have fun, but I like you know, trying to get the message across right. And the only way you can do that is in person. You can keep your drone shots and everything else; those all help. But people like the local color commentary, I think, and I've got about 50 years of experience. So
yeah, you got good pictures in there too, and yeah, I think the phone number, the first phone number I tried for you was saying it wasn't working. It says the one on your flyer with a P, and then I tried the second one, the C, the cell phone one. That's the one that's working. So maybe.
Yeah, I'll look into that. We've done away with our office phones, so maybe that office phone still came up from how did you find it? What platform did you find it? I'm on like 8 different websites. So
yeah, that's the way you want to do it, right? So this one is off of Crexy. Crexy's got it on there, and they've got your flyer with the old. I don't know if you ever uploaded it to Crexy or not. I mean, if you don't, they still find you somewhere and put it on there. They're pretty good at that. Whether you pay them or not, they stick it on there.
I'll have our person check with Crexy and make sure that number is off. That's not something I want to do. I use one phone number, period. Yeah. And you can literally call me about any time of day and get an answer.
Yeah, that's great. It's awesome. Thank you. Thanks for answering. I think I'm going to be back to you soon.
If you want financials or anything, send me an email with your questions and we can keep the ball going.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice holiday week.
You too. Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Okay. You still there, Eric?
I am, Luke. That was a good call.
Got thoughts on that? That's not what I was thinking at all.
No. I'm kind of scratching my head about it too.
So it needs an operator. There's no lease. Okay, so
I just guess with the numbers and the size, all that, why it's been hard for them to find an operator, you know, from within. I know he mentioned another operator, but
so let's put ourselves in their shoes. So you're a broker. You've been doing this. How long do you say? 40 years or 30 years or something?
Long time.
Yeah, a long time. And how are you going to find an operator from within? You're going to call corporate and tell them? You're going to ask them to reach out to everybody? You're going to pick up the phone and go call every other A&W in the state or the country? Are you going to write them all letters? How do you know who they are? Are you going to Google them? I mean,
yeah, I was thinking phone and letters, you know, start close and work your way out in your orbit. I mean, there's a lot to look at here. You know, you've got a very large store with numbers that look good. It looks new.
So let's say you wanted to do that. How would you actually do that? How would you do that? I know how I would do it, but I'm saying, how would you do that if you're the broker and like what are you going to do? Like, where are you going to get those contacts from? How you going to set the time aside to go contact these people and pitch them? And
Right, right. Maybe not his wheelhouse, right? Like most of them.
is it anybody's real wheelhouse that does this? I mean,
On his side of the desk, I don't know that it is, Luke.
and
That's
if
seems
it
simple to us, but
if it is, they don't put a listing up. You know, like
correct.
they got the
Right.
listing up because they don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
But that's what
Looking
we
at the
do.
listing here, this has been available for 225 days. That's a long time.
So nobody picks up the phone and asks, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I think you go to the other operators in the chain of A&W and you say, here's the numbers on this one. I'll lease it to you for XYZ, and get somebody to take you up on it. You don't have to do anything. Just add another location to your grouping of networks. There's already a manager in place. You can oversee them from afar, most likely, and be their, their board while you're operating this thing, and keep the spread. But and then we got at least, if we've got a lease in place, then it's much more marketable. You can go sell this thing, and then it would be easier to sell this thing at a more market cap rate with a smaller NOI on it, triple net style, than you got to come operate it. It's a totally different person that comes to buy it the way it's marketed now versus the way the volume in the market flows.
Right. And I don't know that it's really a hard sell from that standpoint. If you've got successful operators, a top 25 store has got to be appealing to all of them. Do you think the top 25 is, well, I guess that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here with NOI, right? That's, it should remain a top performer. And like that agent said, they're not offering a breakfast option, it sounds like, right? So those numbers could increase.
Yeah, so we've got, I had it up here, I thought, A&W. So A&W, like if we go to rankings, they're saying number 30, right now, this is monthly rankings. They're ranked number 33 out of 140. I mean, they're in the top echelon of A&W. Placer they've got pretty bad coverage ratios on this one. 36% of the stores covered, which is not very good on Placer's side, and it says 140 properties. So there's going to be more properties than what Placer has in their listing of properties that are out there. They're not, we might have to do some more work to dig up all the locations.
Luke, I think your video might have frozen. I can hear you loud and clear. It seems like I'm not seeing any Placer. I've got you frozen with the Crexy page up.
Okay. It's saying stream health is excellent on my side. Maybe the buffer just catches up eventually, because there's buffers on here.
Okay.
I kind of don't want to put the link into the chat, but I'm still gonna. It's like, no, guys. Okay, so let's do some math. I'm going to use Google Bard. I'm going to ask it what's the average ticket per customer. What's the average checkout? What is the average checkout per customer at A&W restaurants? I mean, he said I can get financials from him too if I ask, but let's just be a little faster to get dirty. $13 in the Midwest. breakfast seems to be the lower dollar stuff, and they don't. Maybe that's why they got rid of breakfast first. So let's say Midwest $13. Is that where it is? Wisconsin's in Midwest, right? $13 times. Let's look at like an annual visit count of this sucker. The last 12 months, 82,500.
How long, Luke, did he say how old is this building in its current state? I heard him talk about being struck by lightning and completely being redone, but are those numbers for an entire calendar year?
My numbers are, I'm doing last 12 months. I've got 2022, 2021, 2020 on the screen, and we could go off of those numbers. The last 3 years, they've been going up pretty nice. The last 3 years, revenue's been growing. But the last 12 months, based on average ticket per customer, it's coming in just a hair over $1 million. He was talking about, what did he say, 1.3 million or something?
That's what I thought.
So, I mean, that should be, like $100,000 a year in rent. Should be able to get out of that kind of number, right? And so if we're like 100,000, and if we use a 7.5 cap, we should go look at what they're trading for. I mean, we're at 1.3 million. If we look at what Arby's is trading for on the markets, not Arby's, A&W. Did I do that math right? 1.3 million. This doesn't make sense.
I got 1.42, call it 1.428.
If you're doing 1.3 million in revenue?
No, I did the 100,000 divided, by 0.07. I thought you were looking for when you did the 7 cap.
So you're trying a 7 cap? Here's a brand new Long John Silver's A&W. It's in Carbondale, Illinois. There we go.
Well, we know that's challenged.
That's a hard market to do business in. 88.
And it's a combo? Long John Silver's and A&W?
Yeah, Long John Silver's A&W combo.
Never seen that.
And that's, they're asking a 6.3 cap, but it's been on the market forever. It's probably not a good one to... Carbondale, Illinois, you're not going to get regular stuff.
No.
I mean, A&W comes up here. There's just not enough A&Ws out there to see stuff on the market. So even if it was a 6 cap, like if you got how far, the numbers aren't working, this $2 million kind of asking price. So if you had a $100,000 lease on it, and then you divided that by 0.063, like that one was asking, you're $1.5 million. You're still 500 grand shy of getting there.
Yeah.
So the asking price is too much compared to the revenue that the building is doing and how much of a lease you could get out of that kind of revenue. And that's why he's pitching the case of rebranding it into something else that could do a bigger draw and maybe pay more rent. Because that's how else are you going to get those numbers. So for the number that if we had so what do you say, 1.9, or let's just look at the price. 1,950,000. So at the asking price of 1,950,000. Times, let's try my 7.5 number again. We'd need a rent of like 146 to break even. You basically need over $150,000 rent off of this thing to get anywhere. and that's not going to happen on the
It's not
kinds
there.
of,
Yeah.
it's not there. It's not penciling. That's why it's not working.
Right.
Okay. Let's keep shopping. I don't think it's come down in price enough to pull that off. I think they just got a dreamy price on here.
Boy, this is such a large location. I'm surprised that they didn't try to couple something else in here. You could be running 3 different flags out of something this size.
Yeah. No, that's a way of getting the rent up.
Yeah, you throw burgers and I don't know, pizza, coffee, or something. It's just so. I mean, it's enormous. 5,500, 5,600 square feet.
You cut it in half and do a dance from there, or 3.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
I get-
I'm thinking, yeah.
I get that play, but I think the price should still be half of what we're talking about to do that kind of play.
I agree.
You got,
We're somewhere close to it. You're right.
yeah, room on the way it is now to make money, and then make even more money on cutting it up and pulling it off, finding a new tenant to go in here. Yeah, I think we researched this one enough.
Okay. Luke, I found another one here that it looks, you were working in recently. I tried to call these guys, but I got voicemail and haven't heard back. You want to take a look at one more? Or can I give you a name of one?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Lincoln County, Nebraska. It's the North Platte Pizza Hut Wing Street combo. You were in this a few days ago.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
The demos in this area are great. You got a 91% Qdoba.
Yeah.
A lot of customers at Starbucks.
Okay, let me pull it up on the screen here and share this one
Sure.
with the crowd.
This one's also been available for quite a while, almost 200 days. It's listed at 171 right now. This is a good sized store too, at almost 3,500 square feet.
I don't think I ever talked to this broker.
I didn't either. I tried to call, but he didn't pick up, and I haven't heard back.
I think I was looking at his tracks in the mud, and he sold a bunch of cheaper stuff around the area, but then he's getting into some bigger listings, and they just kind of stuck and not moving.
Yeah,
Starbucks next door.
right.
I'm gonna take
Atomic right next.
I'm gonna take an intermission, and
Okay. You've got the Starbucks net info in the notes here. It says 58 percentile, 12,000 customers a month. There's a Sonic right next to that Starbucks. I don't see any notes in the system here about how that's performing though. Can you check that one?
yeah.
It's It's right next to the Starbucks.
I think that Qdoba is rocking.
It was 91%. Where's the Qdoba? I don't see that. I see the Starbucks and the Sonic and the Wing Street. Let me drive around here and see if it looks like this is kind of end of road. It looks like that's good. On Qdoba.
So the Sonic. I'm not sure I'm in the right place. Let's see.
If you do street view, it's just it's right across the street from that.
Okay, I see this. So the Sonic, it didn't seem to be doing very well. It's like the end of the street, and we're kind of like around the corner already. Like Starbucks is front and center off of there, and then the Sonic goes back even further. It's just hard to get to that Sonic from the main traffic. It's like more of a place you'd put a car fixing shop or something than fast food. So let me see if I can get this to work in place, or I don't think I'm
I
in
see
the.
the Qdoba now. It's across the street next to the Applebee's. There's also a Dunkin' over there. I don't know if it's part of the gas station or not. Let me drive around over there.
I'm just drawing a blank here. This. I don't think my address is working to pull this up in Placer. There's the Starbucks. Let me see if that works. If I zoom in on Starbucks, okay, yeah, we're over here. It was pulling up the wrong area. Okay, so it found the Starbucks, and then the Sonic's 2,000 customers. That's an awful Sonic. It's like
Yeah, really bad.
run and cry. Feel sorry for the people working there. They're gonna lose their jobs. This is like not making it. Walking Dead. 9 percentile Sonic. Maybe it's doing a little bit better than I thought, but it's still pretty bad.
Really bad.
Yeah, but the Qdoba over here, this is doing really well. I think it's a new build, and they're kind
How
of
about
down around the
Dunkin'?
corner.
There's a Dunkin'
Dunkin'?
right there by the Qdoba too, and the
Five-
Dunkin' looks
5,000 customers. Yeah, this looks too big. It's like the gas station or a 7-Eleven or something going on here. Let's see.
This is a big Dunkin'.
Temporarily closed Dunkin'.
Really? Oh. Maybe this is a multi-tenant building, Luke. I don't, now that I look at this from the other side of the building, I just can't believe a Dunkin' would occupy this kind of space. And I do see another door on the other side of it, not the gas station side.
This is a drive-through Dunkin'. People driving around the whole thing. There's parking and drive-through. I mean, that's a full-on Dunkin'. They got the whole thing. Maybe the other side. Maybe, okay, I see what you're saying. Maybe they got a Baskin Robbins or something over there.
Well, this is just in the
Yeah, you're right. There's a vacant other side. The other side's like
Okay.
nothing happening. But you drive around the nothing happening side, yeah. Because it's 5,000 square foot. It's in the back hideaway. Maybe you put a dentist office in there or something. This looks like a pretty new build.
Yeah, it does. That's what I was thinking too.
It's a ton of
You got a
people in
hotel,
line.
you got a Hampton right here across the street from it. And an Applebee's right next door.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to this property. So what are we trying to figure out? What to pay for this thing?
Yeah. If it's even worth making the offer, maybe. I hear you, that Sonic is super challenged. I feel like that bleeds into this Pizza Hut.
You remember that Arby's we just looked at a couple properties ago? It's like you can only get in there turning right, and then if you want to get out, you gotta like go to the moon and back to get back to where you just came from. Forget it, never going back there.
No.
91% Qdoba. Okay, so 58% all Starbucks. I didn't see 5,000 customers on a Dunkin'. That sounds pretty good. '82 percentile Dunkin' Donuts. That is a pretty good Dunkin'.
That is.
So we got a good Dunkin',
Probably
good.
benefiting from the gas.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, drive around, I see there's a number of hotels here. There's a over there by the Starbucks and the Pizza Hut, but on the other side, right near that Dunkin', you've got a Hampton across the street, and that gas station is probably pulling a lot of the traffic here. The Qdoba has got to be benefiting from that as well.
Yeah.
I don't see the Qdoba though. Is it part of the gas station? I know it's over here.
It's so new it doesn't even show up. It's like
Oh, okay. No wonder.
they added it on to next to Applebee's and something else over here.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now, Luke.
It's in front of the Hampton Inn. It's brand new.
That's good though. I mean, if it's that new and it's performing like that, that's exceptional. They must be. Oh no. Oh yeah, there it is. Now I see it. It's just on the other side, right in front of the Hampton as well.
Yeah.
Next to a real estate office, looks like. Gateway Realty.
Okay, so $1.25 million. Like if we did the same 7.5 kind of number, we'd need rent to break even at like $92,000 would be like a break even rent. So we got
At what rate?
at the asking price of 1.2 million. It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's not a pizza shop. Like you're not gonna get
No.
another pizza. So you got to remake it into something else. You're not going to reuse the kitchen. You're going to start over, and you're at 1.2. And it just doesn't have the numbers to put pizza shop in here. So it's about price. Like how open are they on price? Like I think this is just too expensive to work on. Should we call this guy and ask him about price?
Sure, might as well try, Luke. We're in here.
Yeah.
How did the Applebee's do? Did you check that in Placer? Are they doing well? I can see them paying that kind of rent, but definitely not pizza, and I don't. That's getting up there for
Almost 20,000 Applebee's. Applebee's is doing pretty good.
Wow.
I mean, let's.
Yeah, this side of the street seems like it's thriving. I
Yeah.
think the Gap is really helping these.
The gas is bringing them. We should look at the traffic on the gas. I bet you the traffic on the gas is like 20,000 or some high traffic gas.
Yeah,
Not
I agree.
not a Shell gas station with 2,000 people, but like a
Right. And it's probably a long way between gas stations out here. As I
80.
drive up and down the highway here, I don't see anything
Yeah.
else,
85 percentile Applebee's.
Okay. That's what's bringing people in here is that gas station.
Yeah, get out of the truck and sit in the Applebee's. Sinclair's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
What?
Grab a
No,
donut, get gas.
2.6. I thought it'd be a lot more than that.
What was it?
2.2600.
For what, the gas?
A Sinclair gas station. That's the restaurants are pulling more than the gas station. So Ruby Tuesdays over here, 13,000. I mean, they're doing okay. They're on our side of the street. Perkins, 13,000. That's our side of the street.
Oh, I'm looking at the Rubies. I think Ruby is on the, oh yeah, no, you're right. It is, sorry. It is on our side. And that's next to there's a Perkins, is that what that is?
Yeah.
And another hotel, a Fairfield.
$183,000 at this Walmart. It's good pull.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's just ask about the price.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I think it's too high priced. Okay. Well, how do you know if you don't ask?
Right.
Hi, is Robert Stefka available?
Junior or senior?
I'm not sure. I'm looking at a listing of his. It's a pizza shop in North Platte, Nebraska. It's got this phone number on here. It just says Robert PM Stefka.
Okay. So that would be Junior. He's actually on the other line at the moment. Can I go ahead and put you through to his voicemail and he can give you a call back?
Yeah, be much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, just one moment.
Hello, you have reached the voicemail box of Robert Stefka. I cannot take your call at this time, but if you would leave your name and number, I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Hello, Robert. My name's Luke Smith, and I'm looking at your listing on Crexy, the 1902 Jeffers Street in North Platte, the old pizza shop in Wing Street. And just had a couple questions. I just studying that building in the area and just scratching my head and thought maybe I'd pick up the phone and ask you some questions. Luke Smith, 760-274-7711. Hope to talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Do you have another one in mind, Eric, or just want to go down the list?
I'm looking through a few more here, Luke, to see if I can find a good one to go over. If you've got another one, feel free to jump in on it. Let's see. It's another Nebraska one. Let's see what this says.
Okay, this one, I got one, Chesterfield County, Virginia, former Wendy's. Does not look like a Wendy's.
Luke, does that have a reference number? Probably not, huh? I'm looking.
No, it's in Chesterfield County, Virginia.
Let me try Wendy's. Okay, got it.
Says it's dark.
Is it, Luke, is the one you're looking at coming up in a town called Midlothian?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this one has an NOI because it's dark. $127,000 a year. Says it was built in 2005. Remaining term 0 years. Says it's triple net. I know, right? This one might have come up before. I think it's like there's regulations about what the building looks like in the area. So they didn't build a Wendy's. They built this thing and called it a Wendy's.
Yeah.
So they have to put a sign on there with a drive-through window.
Right. 41,000 vehicles per day. So you have affluent neighborhood too. 153,000 income in 3 miles almost.
That sounds great. I mean, they got a $1.3 million price. They're asking $35 a square foot. So what is that? $35 a square foot times how many square foot was it?
I think it was
3240.
Yeah, 3240.
I'm already forgetting my numbers. 35, right? 35. So they want $113,000 a year rent. If I did a 7.5 cap, that would take me to $1.5 million kinds of valuation on the thing versus they're asking a sales price of $1.3 million. So maybe it's a little more skewed towards selling it versus leasing it.
This has been available for a long time, almost 300 days.
Got a good satellite view of it in this fashion. To me, it sounds expensive. They've been knocking the price down. They were asking 1.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.3. They've been dropping the price over time. I think it maybe was dark, but then they haven't updated it since the rent stopped coming in, or they're asking for an LOI that states what they want.
Yeah, I'm sure we talked to these guys once. I
Right?
remember this building.
I think so too. I think they're just too far out there price-wise for me,
Yeah.
even with the demographics.
Right. Maybe they're trying to recoup some of the cost of this building. This had to be an expensive build, all for a
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, this I've looked at this corridor before and this building. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel the same way.
I'm gonna zoom out in this area and sort by customers and see who's getting the customers and what's happening here. Kroger, 77,000 customers. Publix, 43,000 customers. Aldi, 16,000 customers. Like a harmonic Aldi is 20,000 customers. So this Aldi is kind of like low. Dairy Queen, 10,000 customers. Dairy Queen's killing it. Where's Dairy Queen? Dairy Queen is on the other side of the street from us. Starbucks, 7,000 customers. They're up the street a ways in a shopping, like a strip mall. Arby's, 6,400 customers. Arby's, where are you, Arby's?
A lot for an Arby's, isn't it?
Yeah, they're down the street on the other side of us, on the same side of the street as us. So we're in between the top guys of Dairy Queen and Starbucks, and then Arby's on the other side of us. Chipotle, 4,300. Marco's Pizza, 37. It drops off pretty fast. There's a couple names here that are doing it, and the rest just crashes like where the traffic's happening. I think this is too much money there's a lot of names in here, but not enough shooting out the lights like this Dairy Queen is. This is a Dairy Queen market. So Wendy's straight across the street from us. They closed in January 2023. Like Wendy's usually sells a lot more than these other ones. They didn't make it. Who knows why? But I'm not feeling it. I don't have like the reason.
Yeah, I'm with you, Luke. There's something about this that I remember feeling the same way. I don't know if they were just proud of the space or there was a deed restriction. There was something that led us away from this.
Yeah. Okay. Family Dollar, Rockingham County, North Carolina. That's not a drive-through. Wonder how this one got on here. This looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. It's got time left and leased up and in the middle of nowhere. It shouldn't be in our data set. Okay. So we've gone through some properties. I want to thank you, Eric. I got some things to get back to on a couple different fronts from a couple people while we're making this video. I like to do this. I like to go through these properties. I could do this all day, but I got to juggle some other things too. And hopefully you guys have questions and you can hit them up in the comments. I'll try to answer them over time as I see them in the comments, people that watch the recorded version of this. And we're going to keep shopping. We're going to keep shopping. We're going to keep looking at these properties, sorting, slicing, dicing, making offers on the ones we like. And I want to make some videos out in the future of us like making it happen, filling them up with tenants, taking it full circle, selling the thing as a triple net building or hiring somebody else to sell it really. And I think we can make more of these videos over time. And I think we can learn from you guys chiming in and asking questions and saying, why are you guys doing it this way or that way, pro and con? And we could try to answer and take it from there. So I'd much appreciate questions. And thank you. Thanks. There's also a link in the description of this that goes back to my website. If you want to do deals with me, ask for your information. I'll get back to you as soon as I can when we talk about deals. Thank you. See you in the next one.